Right, so today we are in sunny Horsforth in Leeds. So this is the first video. I don't know if it's going to be a YouTube channel, whatever it is going to be, but this is the first video that's going to be going on there. So today what we're going to do is, it's 20 square meters and we're going to scarify, overseed, put a little bit of top dressing on, and then we're going to fleece it as well, because where the garden is, there's a lot of like cats and foxes and things that come onto it, so we're just going to fleece it and make it easier for in terms of like poo and stuff coming onto it and other creatures that we don't want going on. So that's the first thing that we're going to do. So we're just going to have a little walk around of what it is. As you can see, the garden's got quite a few weeds and things like that, but we're not going to treat the weeds today, because if you treat the weeds you can't overseed. So we'll just deal with those when the new grass comes back up. So as you can see, it needs a little bit of work. So that's why we're going to Scarify, because it's got quite a big thatch build up on the grass. So yeah, so as you can see, it's not a big area. It's about 20 square meters that we're going to be doing today. So yeah. As you can see, thatch is building up on there, so that's why we're going to do that. And you can see some weeds as well. That's why we're going to sort those out when the grass actually grows. But yeah, you can see quite a lot of it's dead. It drains pretty well, so that's not too bad. And then over on this side, it's a little bit more like that. So we're going to, you can either do it with two tools here. So the reason I'm doing this channel as well is just to try and do stuff for beginners. So if you want, you can either scarify with a rake, just a plastic one like this is fine, or you can use a scarifier like this. Now the cheapest place I've found to get them is Screwfix. So you can either do it with this manually, if you've just got one of these sitting about, a rake. I find plastic ones are a lot easier. Or you can, again, use a scarifier from Screwfix. So next frame is just going to be digging in to show you guys how to scarify. So if you were going to do it manually with a normal rake, you just got to keep going like this. Keep going, digging it all up. Quite a good workout. So what this is doing is it's picking up all of last year's dead grass. So you normally get this stuff when you are either mowing the lawn and all the clippings are falling out, or if the grass dies as well. So it just builds up over time. You can see all of this. So what this is doing is it's stopping nutrients and water getting into the good grass that's alive. So yeah, just go over the lawn like that, keep going, and then that rips it out. So this is a scarifier underneath. So as you can see, these are the blades. So what this does is it goes into the grass and then picks up all of that thatch that you saw when we're doing it manually. So that's what that looks like underneath. If you get the Screwfix one, you get two attachments. So you get one with like little prongs, and then you get this one. So this is the one that you want to be using for scarifying. The other one is more like an electric rake. But this one gets a little bit deeper into the soil and then picks up that thatch layer. And then if we just put the machine down like this, if you see, it will have levels. What you want to do is you want to start on the highest level, see how much that picks up, and then you want to then go down. So that's what we're going to be using in terms of scarifying. So on your lawnmower, in order to be able to scope it, you should have levels. So what I mean by that with this one is, if I go like that, you can see that the lawnmower is lifting up by me doing that. So if you can see it again, so that's it going down. So you want your lawnmower on the lowest setting, so that is this way. Let me just try and get that without. There you go. So when you do that, you saw that the lawnmower goes low. So that's what you want to do with your lawnmower. Cut on the lowest setting, scope the lawn, and then we'll then scarify it. So let's get on and do that. So as you can see now, we've cut it down to the lowest setting with the lawnmower. Now the next step is we're going to scarify the lawn. So this is the bit where you could either use a rake or you could use a scarifier like we're going to be using today. So we want to get as much of up as possible. So that's what we're going to do now. So as you can see, we're just going up and down with the scarifier. It's on level 1. Up and down. So yeah, so you can see it looks worse, and depending on who you live with, you might have to explain this. Why is it looking worse than it was before we started? But that's what you got to do. You got to get worse before you get better. So we did that on level 1 because we're ripping it up and then starting from a good base. So we're taking it back to brick really. So yeah, so if you have a look now, so we're going to do is rake up all of this. And then we can see what that's like, and then we can start to think about overseeding. So yeah, so this is what you want it to look like. I say that, but this is what you want it to look like if you want to start from a good baseline of the grass being really low and you get a lot of mud because we're basically trying to reseed it. But if you've got decent grass, you want to just go on the highest setting and then just tickle it. You wouldn't want to go on this. We did this on level 1 on the Scarifier. Like I was saying before, this is where people start questioning you. Neighbours are like, who's that nutter who we live next to? People you live with are like, I thought you were doing the grass today. But yeah, as you can see, it looks worse, but it has to look worse to get better. So we're performing open heart surgery. So yeah, so that's that done. As you can see, we've raked it. So we sculpted it. Scalp. So we scalped it. We then scarified it, and then we've raked all of that. And then now we are about to overseed. So there you go. So that's what we've got. That left side that I just showed is a little bit worse because this bit gets a little bit more sunlight. But yeah, so that's it. So it's bare now and it's ready to overseed. So let's get on with that. So the grass seed that we're going to be using today is just Speedy Seed from Amazon. I'm trying to show people that you don't need all the fancy seed and you can succeed with that. There are other brands out there. There's Premiership Pro by A1 Lawns, and then there's also Barenberg, another brand. But for this, again, we're just trying to show you can do it with basic stuff. So this is just Speedy Lawns, which has probably got some kind of ryegrass mix in there that we're going to use. So we're going to be doing it at a rate of 40 grams per square meter. So if your lawn is 40 square meters, you would times 40 times 40, then that would give you how much you need. But here I just realized that I forgot my spreader, so we're going to do it just by our hands, just spreading it. So make sure, that was weird though, wasn't it? But anyway, so we'll just do it by by hand, and making sure that we don't put too much on, because if you put too much on, you cause disease. When the grass actually starts to grow, it competes. So we'll make sure that we put just enough using our eyes, and then yeah, we'll top dress it after. So we're just going to do that by hand now. So yeah, so you just want a handful of seed there, and then just literally lightly do that. As you can see, I'm not doing anything too heavy, not putting too much on. You can see it's spreading nicely, and then we're just going to do the whole thing. Is that okay? So yeah, so as you can see now, we've popped the grass seed on there. So all we're going to do is we're going to put some compost on top. Now, some people always ask, can grass seed actually grow like this without it being covered? I suspect that it can, because if you've ever dropped grass in between cracks or anything like that, it grows. But covering it just means that we can protect some of the seed from the birds. I mean, we're going to seed this and we're going to fleece this anyway, so that wouldn't affect us. But putting some compost on also helps to keep the moisture in as well on top of the grass seed, and stops it from being too much in direct sunlight anyway. So I just always put a layer of compost on top. That's just what I've been taught. So but I suspect that it would grow even if you just left it like this, but it just makes it easier in terms of, like, even if it rains, your seed being moved about and stuff, when it's a nice thin layer of compost, you just guard against all of that happening. So yeah, just do that. Right, so the compost that we're going to be using today to put a thin layer of top dress is just Grow compost. Now, there are a lot of fancier composts out there, so some YouTube content creators use field compost #4. Some people use Jack's Magic, which was an old one that people use, but I'm just going to use Grow just to show that it doesn't really matter. It's not that complicated, it's just grass. Now, a good tip when you buy your compost is keep it in your garage or shed or anything covered from water for a couple of days before you actually use it, because it just dries it out a little bit and it makes it easier to spread and easier to use. So we're just going to go on with this. Now, you can sieve it as well, because obviously it comes with like little twigs and things like that in there, but I'm not going to do that, and I've never had a problem, so I'm not even going to sieve it. I'm just literally going to put it on top whilst it's a little bit dry, and then once it grows, you kind of pick that kind of stuff up anyway, when you mow. That's why I'm just trying to do a video that's a little bit of an alternative take, in terms of not having to have every two. Not every single person has sieves, compost sieves or compost spreaders or anything like that. Your average Joe just has a bag of compost, so that's what we're going to be doing today. So just going to be using that. Literally dropping a little bit, creating like little hills, and then we're going to spread it, so like little more hills on top of your grass seed, like so, and then we're going to thinly spread it with a rake. So yeah, so just keep dropping some. I had already done this bit, but the sound went, so hopefully the sound is back now. The perks of doing your first YouTube video. So all we're doing again is just spreading a nice thin layer like that, like you can see, nice and gentle, just covering your grass seed. So again, as I've mentioned, just helps to keep the moisture in and helps to protect from birds and direct sunlight. So just like that, nice and thin. We had created little grooves anyway for the grass seed to fall in, so you don't have to worry about moving it. But if you're not doing it in a crazy way and just literally nice and gentle with your rake, should be fine. But you can see it's just a nice thin layer. It's nothing, not too much, because your grass then won't grow through it. But yeah, so we'll get the rest of this spread, and then we'll come back for the next step. Yeah, so as you can see, we've finished that, and we've used 2 bags exactly, 20 square meters. So like I said there, 1 bag per 10 square meters. So just about there, we've pretty much covered it all. Just might need to just spread some of it around the sides, but yeah, that's looking good. So that's ready now to be fleeced. So we'll just have a little walk around here. You can see nice thin layer on top, so it's not claggy or anything like that, just a nice layer on top, and then that's that. So we're now going to get this fleeced, and well, no, we'll get it watered first, put some water in it, and then we'll get it fleeced. But yeah, so as you can see, Abdul's doing that. I mean, his name's actually not Abdul, it's Danny, but that's just a joke from what's it called, Wakey Wines, if anyone's ever seen Wakey Wines round the corner from us. So yeah, so you're just doing it with a thin mist all over, like so, not doing it on a harsh setting where you move the seed, just a nice misty one on your hose. So yeah, just keep doing that all over, give it a nice water, and then we'll fleece, and then we're done for the day. Go watch some football, highlights of Leeds failing to meet the playoffs, and no, failing to get promoted automatically and having to need to go up through the playoffs. Maybe by the time the grass grows they might be promoted, so we'll have to see. Fleece that we're using is just normally sold from the range or B&M, just a frost fleece. This one is 16 by 1 meter, 17 GSM, so the GSM is how thick it is. Oopsie. So this is just 17. So again, you can probably find other brands on Amazon, on eBay and that kind of stuff, just depending on how much you need if you're going to fleece. So this is the one that we're going to use today, and then we've got some pegs, some garden pegs that I'll show you now that we're going to pin it down with, and then we'll come back in a couple of weeks. So again, you want to be seeding normally when the weather, you're looking at the minimum temps when you're seeding. So a lot of people see the actual temperature of the maximum and think, oh yeah, it's ready, and that might be a little bit too early. So if you're looking at the minimum temperatures, you want to be looking at about 8 degrees minimum, because it's ground temps. So you want to be looking at the minimum temperature. So seed doesn't actually need light in order to germinate, it just needs warmth and moisture. So again, have a look at the minimum temp. That's the one that you want to be mindful of. So today is today the 3rd of May or the 4th? Is today the 3rd of May or the 4th? 4th. So today is the 4th of May. 4th of May. So we want to be doing it about this time now, because it's starting to heat up a little bit, and the ground temps for the next couple of weeks don't sort of go below 9 degrees. We're in West Yorkshire, so depending on where you are, it might have already been a little bit warmer for you to start. Some people I've seen have started at the start of April. So anyway, less talking and more fleecing. So these are the pegs that we're going to use to hold down the fleece. They're like this, U-shaped garden pegs, pins. Not too sure the proper name for this. If anyone knows, put it in the comments. But you can get them from Screwfix, Amazon, or any other garden centre really. They help you keep the fleece down in case there's wind. So yeah, that's what we're using. Right, so that's that done. We'll do the other side quickly, and then come back in a couple of weeks. So that wraps up my first video. Hopefully that went okay. If there's anything that we could be doing better, please let me know. So yeah, make sure you water it even with the fleece on. When you water it, you'll notice that it puddles on top, the water, but it will start to seep through after a while. So don't be concerned if when you're watering it sits at the top. Keep it watered. If it rains, then that's fine, but if not, then just make sure you keep it moist.